Assalamualaikum and good morning everyone. I am glad to welcome all of you today. Thank you for coming. Can we call this meeting to order?
Yes, miss.
Are there any apologies for absence for today's meeting?
I'm afraid Lukman cannot be with us today. He is in Perak attending a project meeting for a week.
Thank you, Masterina. Okay, I would like to quickly go through the minute of our last meeting. Are there any amendments?
Yes, they are. The number of participants who attended the seminar in Melaka was 32 and not 42, Ms. Chairman.
Sorry about that. I will admit it.
Okay, thank you, Shahira and Masterina. Any other amendments?
No, miss.
Alright, so can someone propose that the minute be passed?
I propose that that the minute be passed.
I second that.
Thank you. If there is nothing else, let's proceed on to the next item on the agenda. So today we will be planning an academic tour to Bangkok and setting up the steering committee for this trip. But before that, I would like to call Masterina as secretary to briefly explain the agenda about this project.
I'm the secretary. I'm the secretary, and my name is Masrina Sajida. Our main agenda for the current meeting is to decide and discuss the role for the job scope for each committee to guide the budget of the tour and partition used to Bangkok. That's all from me.
Okay, thank you, Masterina. So as Secretary mentioned, today we will discuss the job scope for each member to ensure everything went smoothly and make this trip successful. As I was saying, there are four main job scope, which is logistic and technical, itinerary, welfare and safety, and the last one is transportation. I hope everyone could give a full engagement to this meeting and volunteer to lead the job scope that suits you. Before the selection process begins, can the secretary explain the details of elements of each scope?
Yes, sure. The person who is in charge of logistics and technical is responsible for managing the passport and technical equipment such as the camera. For itinerary, one use shall list down all the activities that will be held, especially when in Bangkok. Next, um, next, next farewell and safety for the job scope. The person in charge needs to be responsible for the safety uh, for the safety of all participants, and safety equipment need to be provided just in case any incident happen. Okay, the lastly, for transportation, you are responsible for managing the transportation used in Bangkok. Thank you.
Alright, thank you, Ms. Rina. Now we can proceed to decide the role for each member. So for the first one, I would like one person to take charge in logistic and technical scope. If you want to volunteer, please tell me your name and state your reason.
Hi, sorry for interrupt. So my name is Anis Suzana and I think I want to volunteer myself to take charge in logistic and technical since I'm good in editing and photography. I can bring my own camera and take some picture or videos so that I can create a great recap video for our memories at Bangkok, Thailand.
Okay, thank you very much. Next job scope is itinerary. For this one, I also need one person to take charge. Any volunteer?
Sorry for interrupting. My name is Nurul Zairi Miti Zakaria and I volunteered to take responsibility for the itinerary since I have been to Bangkok before and I can guarantee this trip is gonna be fun.
Thank you. Moving on for transportation. Who would like to volunteer to handle this job scope?
My name is Norshaira and I apologize for interrupting. I like to volunteer to help with the trip's transportation since I'm the one handling the transportation last seminar in Melaka.
Thank you to everyone. Now we have already completed the main agenda. Let's discuss the important matter. Can we start with transportation? Any ideas what kind of transportation will be used along this trip?
Yes, I have an idea. I decided to book a flight from Malaysia to Bangkok as our mode of transportation. And when it comes to airline services, I prefer to go with AirAsia because the ticket prices are reasonable. And next, I will organize a bus and the Bangkok Mass Transit System, or often known as the BTS SkyTrain, for all of us while we are in Bangkok.
Okay, now what about the accommodation for all of the participants? Any ideas?
Yes, I have an idea about that. I already decided to arrange a hotel for us for a few days. The Park 9 Suvarnabhumi Hotel is the perfect option for us to stay because it is only 4.2 kilometers away from Suvarnabhumi Airport. It is also close to the destination on our itinerary.
Alright, thank you. Next will be itinerary. So any of you have recommendations for our itinerary?
Yes, of course. To start our tour, we will visit the Bangkok Art and Culture Center. This contemporary art center highlights and hosts art, music, theatre, and culture events in its exhibition and performance space. After that, we will visit the Grand Palace, which is the Royal Palace in Bangkok. Then we will also visit the floating market. Hence, throughout this tour, we can learn their culture and their traditional food.
That's a great idea because not only we will be able to enjoy the culture of the country, but we also may gain some learning experiences from visiting their places and be able to appreciate the artwork that they did. So thank you everyone. So now that we have finally reached all our end of our objective, any other questions or other things to discuss?
No, miss.
No, Miss.
No, miss.
Okay, I think we can finally end this meeting here. Again, I want to say thank you very much for giving full participation. So now we can dismiss it.
Thank you, miss.